Hey, here's a funny question for you. Does story matter in video games? I would say yes and no. On one hand, games are meant to be played, not watched. On the other, games have evolved more than just pixels on a screen. Now, they're pixels on a screen that give you trauma. And when there's a story, there's lore. Fun fact, by definition, lore refers to the background knowledge, history, and mythology of a fictional universe. Characters and worlds with lots of lore behind them can make even a bad story tolerable. Speaking of lore, let's look towards the Super Mario universe and see what kind of lore from the characters and worlds we can gather. Let's head to the kitchen. Let's see what potential show we can cook up with the Super Mario universe, and Jesus Christ, look at all these ingredients.
By the Elder Gods.
So much to work with, we can't use everything, but I'll go through the mainline series of games, and then the side characters in their own individual series, to talk about the information that amuses me the most, and while the spin-off series like Paper Mario and Luigi Saga often have good storytelling potential, it's easier to focus on the mainline series of games since they can be considered the canon source material. And besides, if this Italian plumber can get one show turned into all of this, based off of one game from 1988, then there's no excuse for what can be made today. That reminds me, for a franchise that's 30 years old, it feels like we barely know anything about the characters. Like, what's Princess Peach's favorite catchphrase? Does Mario have multiple jobs? What's Bowser's preferred preference? All these questions, and more, will probably not be answered by the end of this video, but hey, it's fun to theorize and try to make sense of it all. We have the power-ups, we have the fan service, now let's get cooking. First is the Super Mario series. Super Mario Bros. A simple story about a plumber saving a princess from a turtle dragon called the King Koopa, also known as Bowser, who uses his minions to invade a place called the Mushroom Kingdom, only to be stopped by a plumber known as Mario. It's a tale as old as time. Moving on, next is Super Mario Bros. 2, so basically, the whole plot in a nutshell is, Mario goes to sleep and has a strange dream. He then hears a quiet voice. The voice told him he is in Subkan, the land of dreams, and it's been taken over by a guy named Wart, and for some reason, he hates vegetables.
Eat your green vegetables.
Mario informs the others about the dream he had last night, but then Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad also had the same dream the night before. Upon arriving on their picnic spot, they found a small cave. Inside was a long staircase that led to a door. And it was Subkan, the world of their dreams. Mario discovers that Subkan has been taken over by Wart, so they beat him, and it turns out it's all a dream, and that's the plot. Moving on. Next is Super Mario Bros. 3, this is where things get interesting. This is the game where Mario gains furry powers, and guess what? Bowser is back, and he has kids. Bowser knocked someone up 7 different times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What a legend. We don't know who the lucky wife is though. How unfortunate. This game goes back to the basics of having only just Mario and Green Mario as playable characters, who apparently forgot their overalls in the washing machine, because Mario, for instance, is wearing black overalls instead of his usual blue, which is unironically never referenced again in any other Mario media. The game has you go through 8 worlds, where Bowser's children called Koopalings, who he sent to conquer 7 kingdoms by stealing its king's magical wands and using it to transform them into animals. Wow, what awful security. Each world, or land as they're called, has a king native to their land. All over the Mushroom World, Grassland has the Grassland King, Desert Hill has the Desert Land King, Skyland has the Sky and King, etc., etc. Princess Peach, who's named Princess Toadstool in this game, receives news of Bowser's actions and sends the 2 plumbers to travel to each kingdom, beat up Bowser's kids, retrieve the stolen wands, and restore the kings to normal. When they rescue the 7th king, they receive a note from Bowser, bragging that he kidnapped Toadstool and imprisoned her within the castle of his own realm called the Dark Land. Impressive. Bowser used the element of surprise, so the brothers travel through Dark Land, enter his castle, and defeat Bowser in a battle. Save Princess Toadstool. Roll credits. Interesting, nice to see the existence of kings in the Mario universe, even though they're incompetent with their magic wands. The next major mainline Mario game takes us into the 3rd dimension. Consider one of the most important 3D platforming games of all time, a classic that Mario fans love, yet can't remember the story to. Super Mario 64. The game itself does not explain at all as to what's going on. Instead, the game's instruction manual explains it all. So let me break it down for y'all. Mario receives an invitation from Peach, where the letter says the usual,
Mario, please come to the castle. I've baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool.
and Mario is like,
Wow, an invitation from Peach. I'll head there right away. I hope she can wait for me.
Mario arrives and walks into the castle. And he's like,
It's too quiet.
and then he hears a voice. And he's like,
I've heard that voice somewhere before.
he searched within the castle to find out most of the doors are locked, except one. He peeks inside, sees a large painting, gets curious and jumps through the painting, leading him to another world. He meets these talking pink bombs, and according to them, someone, or something, has suddenly attacked the castle, and that something is Bowser. He has stolen the power. The stars protect the castle. With the stars in his control, the fat turtle dragon plans to take over the mushroom castle. He plans to convert the residents of the painting world into monsters as well, and have those monsters overflow from inside the painting. He even stolen Princess Toadstool and Toad and sealed them inside one of the paintings. And yes, Toad is also a character and a species. Don't worry, this continues to get confusing as we progress. On his journey, he travels all over the castle, jumping through weird paintings and discovering weird enemies like this spider monster thing and these suspicious boss hands. Mario even finds a painting to hell in the castle basement. In the end, Mario takes back the stolen power stars, rescue everyone they have cake together, and thus a happy ending. Next is Super Mario Sunshine, and this is where things get spicy.
Yeah, boy.
This is the first game to introduce a lot of things. It's the first game to introduce the character Bowser Jr. It's the first game to not have Mario rely on power-ups, and the first to introduce a brand new species of Toad. Let's get into it. After putting up with Bowser's crap, they're like, let's go on vacation. They are sent flying on a plane called the Toad Express, where Mario, Princess Peach, a few Toads, and the new character, Toadsworth, are flying out to a place called Al Delfino for a vacation, which is located far, far away from the Mushroom Kingdom. By the way, you may be wondering or don't care about who exactly is Toadsworth, and what's his purpose? Well, according to lore, Toadsworth is Peach's steward, which is nice, but he acts and looks more like a father figure of Peach. Wait a minute. Did Peach's mom a Toad? Did she got tired of her husband experimented with the mushrooms and got knocked up by one, felt it ashamed and disappeared into obscurity? Is that why there's zero information about her in the Super Mario lore? Did you a Toad?
I knew it! That f***ing whore!
While watching a video advertisement about Al Delfino showing its numerous attractions, Peach notices a Mario-shaped shadow figure.
Mario?
Surely this won't mean anything. Later, they land at the Delfino airstrip. And while they get off the plane, they notice a strange goop substance. Mario tries to find a solution to help clean up the goop, and he ends up finding a water pump device called Flood, invented by this cool old fella right here, Professor Egad. I'll talk about this interesting nutjob later. After clearing up the goop and defeating a goop monster, the police show up and arrest Mario. Mario is then put on trial. The prosecution reveals that the island is covered with similar goop and graffiti as well. Darkness has arisen over Isle Delfino due to the shine sprites vanishing. The reason? Vandalism. Despite Princess Peach's attempted objection, Mario is found guilty and is ordered not to leave until the entire island is cleaned and the shine sprites are recovered. This leads to him exploring different areas of Isle Delfino on his adventure. He cleans up more goop, defeat more monsters, and meet more people, like this, an arrogant jackass named El Piantissimo, who keeps insulting you and challenging you to races. The Piantas also describe him as creepy. Well, of course he's creepy. Look at him, he's wearing the mask of your people. After a while, Peach gets kidnapped, all while Toadsworth does nothing. This clone known as Shadow Mario kidnaps Peach. Mario springs water on him to stop him and saves Peach. Then she gets kidnapped again and taken to Pinna Park. It is revealed that, plot twist, Shadow Mario was just Bowser's son in disguise. Bowser tells Bowser Jr. that she is his mama, and that Mario kidnapped her. Bowser Jr. reveals that he was the one who graffitied Al Delfino with his magic brush, who he says a strange old man in a white coat gave it to him. He also reveals he tried to get Mario sent to prison through Shadow Mario. Bowser Jr. leaves and he takes Peach to Corona Mountain, where Bowser and Bowser Jr. are relaxing in a volcano hot tub full of sludge. Mario destroys the volcano, saves Peach, and restore all the Shine sprites at the Shine Gate, and the Piantas celebrate. It's later revealed Bowser Jr. knew the whole time that Peach wasn't his mama. Then Bowser and Bowser Jr. relax, roll credits. That's an interesting plot, good setup too. You may be wondering who that strange old man Bowser Jr. was referring to. Well, that strange old man is Professor E. Gad. Who is he? Now let's add a little bit of Luigi's Mansion into the mix. Professor E. Gad first appeared in Luigi's Mansion, where he is a scientist and inventor known for creating ghost-catching devices. He helps Luigi capture Ghost and tracking down Mario's whereabouts in the mansion. But clearly he must have some connection to magic, cause this magic brush is not made by science. Maybe he used to work for Bowser? It's clear Egad owns a company where he sells these products, so Bowser Jr. bought the magic brush off of Egad. Okay, cool, easy to understand, but what about Flood? Mario nor Peach didn't purchase him, so who did? My theory is that Luigi, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. knew ahead of time that Mario and Peach were going to Isle Delfino, so Luigi sent Flood due to the goop and graffiti for Mario to use? Or maybe Egad sent Flood himself? And what about Shadow Mario? Is he a result of Egad?
The world may never know.
The next mainline Mario game is so good, it's out of this world, Super Mario Galaxy. So here's the plot in a nutshell. There's this place called the Star Festival, where a comet passes over the Mushroom Kingdom and causes stars to fall to the planet below every century. Peach invites Mario to her castle to join in the festivities, and like Americans going into a foreign country, Mario and the Toads get attacked for simply existing. Bowser is back, and attacks the Star Festival and kidnaps Peach. Bowser invites Peach to the creation of his brand new galaxy, and uses a UFO to lift the castle off the ground and carry it to the center of the universe. Mario manages to reach the castle just before it is taken into outer space, but before he can get to Peach, Kamek suddenly appears and casts a spell at him, knocking him off the castle and deep into space. Later, Mario meets this space princess named Rosalina, and this is where I need to pause and talk about princesses in the series, and yes, there is more than one, with Rosalina being the third one. Looks like I skipped one. This is Princess Daisy.
Damn, where this bitch get her earrings?
She comes from a desert called Sarasaland. Sarasaland is the setting for the game Super Mario Land, which is a country ruled by Princess Daisy, and consists of 4 separate administrative wards referred to as kingdoms, and this loser space alien guy named Tatanga, who hypnotizes the inhabitants, taking control over Sarasaland, and kidnaps Daisy. Why? Because he's really excited over daisies. Hey Bowser, looks like you have some competition. Mario returns peace to Sarasaland by rescuing Daisy and destroying Tatanga's plans, and Sarasaland was never used again outside of just reference cameos. What a shame. I bring this up because, going from simple kidnapped princesses, to a space princess who is the mother of sentient stars, is wild. This one character, from this one game alone, has more lore than any other Mario character. Nintendo really cooked. Now back to the plot. Rosalina acts as a protector of the galaxies and the mother of the Lumas. She tells Mario that her ship, and also home, the Comet Observatory, had its power stars stolen by Bowser. Without them, the Comet Observatory is unable to move through space. Rosalina asks him to reclaim her power stars and offers to help rescue Peach and defeat Bowser in exchange. You all know what happens. Bowser doesn't learn his lesson, gets his ass kicked. Mario saves Peach. Roll credits. Beautiful story, an amazing game that even managed to get a sequel, and Bowser still didn't learn his lesson. The next 3D Mario game is Super Mario 3D Land. While Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings are not present, in the airship levels, you will fight these replacement enemies called Boom Boom and Pom Pom. This got me wondering, are they also his children? Does Bowser hire his minions? He must pay a lot of coins for them to put up with his nonsense. For all I know, these two could be brother and sister. The game has your usual Bowser takes the Peach plot, Mario fights Bowser, then Mario steps on the Bowser switch causing Bowser to fall. Mario saves the princess. Roll credits. But what actually happens is Bowser tricks Mario into saving Peach, and the build-up to the real fight begins, with great level of design to accompany it. After jumping and dodging fireballs, then he hits the final switch and Bowser is defeated. While this game doesn't offer much in terms of new powers, worlds, or themes, it is a 3D reimagining of the 2D Mario games, bringing back old classic powers and enemies. But the next 3D game is different. This is Super Mario 3D World, and this time, Bowser doesn't kidnap Peach. This time, he kidnaps a group of fairies called the Sprixie Princesses, and they have a kingdom, and guess what? Mario has to save them, along with Luigi, a blue toad, and Peach. Even Rosalina joins in on the fun, and also cat powers are involved.
Cat suits!
Bowser of course gets defeated. The Sprixie Princesses are saved. Roll credits. That was great and all, but the next Mario game did a few interesting changes towards its cast of characters. The next 3D mainline Mario game is Super Mario Odyssey. The plot gets straight to the point with the same old Bowser kidnapping Peach gag. This time, Bowser is going to force Peach to marry him while looking stylish as hell. While Mario is fighting Bowser, Bowser throws his hat and it hits Mario and he gets sent flying off the airship, and Mario loses. That's a first. Mario lands in the Cap Kingdom where he meets Cappy. Cappy explains to Mario that Bowser attacked their kingdom, destroying its airship armada, and had also kidnapped Cappy's sister Tiara to use her as Peach's wedding headdress, so they team up. This where Cappy transforms into Mario's cap, allowing Mario to transform into enemies and animals. Mario and Cappy fly on this hat ship called the Odyssey, which they use to travel to different kingdoms. On their journey they encounter multiple bosses, and these new group of sub-boss characters called the Broodals, who Bowser hired as wedding planners, and who are never seen again after this game. Later in the story, it was revealed Bowser is going to have his wedding on the moon. He takes off in his airship, with Peach, and Mario tries to get on the ship only for Bowser to knock him off. The Broodals come in and try to stop Mario. Of course, they failed. Mario and Cappy head out to Moon Kingdom to try to stop the wedding. Wait a minute, I just noticed something. Bowser didn't invite his own kids to the wedding. How rude. Bowser then stomps the floor, revealing a trapdoor under Mario and Cappy, and they fall. After an epic boss fight, the area they are in collapses, causing Mario to capture an unconscious Bowser, and using his body to rescue Peach and escape, with all of them eventually returning to the moon. Mario and Bowser then simultaneously propose to marry Peach, with Peach getting annoyed. She then calls from the Odyssey, saying, "Let's go home." And the plot ends. Roll credits. Okay, 2 things. 1. The story is not anything special. 2. Pauline is. Let's talk about her. She first appeared in the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong. Back then, her name was just Lady. She was the stereotypical damsels in distress who was kidnapped by Donkey Kong, a tale as old as time. After this game, outside of a few cameos in comics, she was forgotten. Then, 12 years of absence later, she returns in Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis, with a full 3D redesign. She soon after reappeared in Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Tipping Stars, where she and Donkey Kong have made peace. Then, more absence, until 2017, in Super Mario Odyssey, where she is now a singer and mayor of New Donk City, and I absolutely love it. And that's the mainline Super Mario series. However, there's also the Switch port of Super Mario 3D World with the Bowser's Fury story back in 2021, where Mario teams up with Bowser Jr. to save Bowser from his corruption, if that counts. And that's the Super Mario series. But, never mind all that, it's time to ask the real hard-hitting questions. It's time to finally find out, are Wario and Waluigi brothers of Mario and Luigi? No, but before we get into that, let's talk about Luigi's Mansion again. Throughout the Luigi's Mansion series, there's this ghost named King Boo. Prior to the events of Luigi's Mansion, King Boo somehow freed a Bolossus, a ghost composed of a group of smaller Boos who had been captured by Professor Gad at some point. Then King Boo ordered the release of every other ghost that Gad had captured. After releasing all the portrait ghosts, King Boo created a haunted mansion near Professor Gad's lab. Why did he create the mansion near his lab? I guess to taunt him. Luigi later receives a scam letter, presumably from King Boo, stating that he had won the mansion, and plans to celebrate over there with Mario. However, King Boo imprisons Mario into a portrait, and places him in the secret altar. Fun fact, in this series, Mario gets kidnapped, not 1, not 2, but 3 times, and kidnaps Peach. Hey Bowser, hire this man. Next is the Wario series. Actually, Wario has 2 series of games, Wario Land, and WarioWare. Wario made his first appearance in Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. In that game, he is referred to as Mario's rival, and the main antagonist within the game's plot. In the Wario Land series, however, Mario is not present, but he does encounter some villains on his journey. Does this mean he's one of the good guys? Yes, and no. The entire series consists of puzzle platforming, and a little bit of close-range action, with Wario attacking enemies, destroying obstacles and everything with his fist, among other attacks, including his iconic shoulder bash move, with Wario Land 4 considered to be the best one in the series, being that this is Wario. The plots has to revolve around treasure in some form. In Wario Land Shake It, basically the plot in a nutshell is, this hot pirate chicken named Captain Syrup likes to steal treasure, just like Wario. she steals an item called Kodegi, a globe that is home to the Shake Dimension, a peaceful place ruled by Queen Miralda and a species of creatures known as Merfolks. One day, the Shake King took over the Shake Dimension and flooded it with monsters. He also stolen the bottomless coin sack, which can create infinite gold coins by shaking it. Captain Syrup steals the globe from a museum, knowing of treasures like the bottomless coin sack. However, instead of doing the dirty work herself, she starts trolling and sends the globe as a gift to Wario, stating that the treasure is inside. A burst of steam emerges from the globe and forms a telescope. A Merfolk appears from the telescope telling Wario that Queen Miralda has been kidnapped and also stolen the bottomless coin sack, and just like that, Wario is on board. After Wario saving the queen, the best cutscene in the game happens. Nintendo, please make a Wario anime. Speaking of a colorful cast of characters, Wario's second, more popular series is WarioWare, a series of fast-paced party games featuring Wario as the main character. A recurring theme within the series is that Wario, who is also a biker for some reason, wants to make easy money. He does this in various ways throughout the series. One of those ways is him founding his own video game studio, called WarioWare, Inc., located in Diamond City, and he hires numerous friends of his to develop the micro games. For him, this franchise has lots of unique characters, each with their own personalities and characteristics, including the famous witch, Ashley. The games have lots of story potential, and despite Wario being the main character in these stories, Wario is sometimes also the main antagonist of them. In WarioWare Gold, the characters were given even more personality, with the magic of voice acting, with full lines of dialogue and a whole story, and it's the best decision the series has made. You even get to hear Charles Martinet as Wario with full lines of dialogue. What more can you ask for? Shockingly, Waluigi does not appear at all in any of the Wario games, not even as a cameo, and the only form of his characterization we have of him is in the Mario sports games, and he surprisingly has a crush on Daisy. Next is the Yoshi series. This franchise gives us clarification on who and what Yoshi actually is, a highly intelligent dinosaur with a large tongue that can fart out eggs despite being a male. He first appeared in Super Mario World, portrayed as Mario's pet sidekick. After the success of Super Mario World, a sequel was made called Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, which is basically a backstory of Mario and Luigi as babies. This is where things get spicy. The plot starts off with a stork flying across pre-dawn sky, carrying baby Mario and baby Luigi, when all of a sudden, Kamek, the magic Koopa, attacks the stork and kidnaps him and baby Luigi, and imprisons them in Bowser's castle, but misses baby Mario, who falls off of the stork and lands on Yoshi's back. Yoshi asks the other Yoshis what to do with the baby, and baby Mario points in the direction to where baby Luigi is located. The baby's bonds are so strong, it informs them on where the other one is. Kamek, believing the babies to be a threat towards the Koopa Kingdom, sends his troops to search and kidnap baby Mario. And here's the craziest part: Bowser is involved in the plot, and also a baby, not to be confused with Bowser Jr. But this all raises a question: did Kamek raise Bowser? Is Kamek the father of Bowser? Did he create Bowser through magic? Will anyone care about my thoughts? Will anyone take this too seriously? So many questions, yet so little answers. After Yoshi stopping Kamek and baby Bowser's plans, he saves the stork, saves baby Luigi, and lets the stork send the babies to their parents, and the brothers are finally reunited peacefully. Also within this game and the Yoshi series is a character called Poochie, a dog-like creature who is friends with Yoshi, who is very, very strong. He can withstand lava, spikes. He became so popular towards the series that him and Yoshi got their own games. Together, he even made it into Mario Kart Tour. He is indeed a good boy. The last one for today is the Donkey Kong series. Okay. Bear with me. In the Donkey Kong series, there is a character named Cranky Kong. Cranky Kong is what Donkey Kong is in the original arcade game, just older. So these two are basically the same character. There's also another character called Donkey Kong Jr., who is the Donkey Kong we see today. I think there's lots of contradictory information. Anywho, in the Donkey Kong Country series, Donkey Kong is best friends with a little fella named Diddy Kong. Just like with Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong also has a girlfriend named Candy Kong, who helps him out on his adventures, and surprisingly, does not get kidnapped. Instead, a fat-ass crocodile villain named King K. Rool and his crocodile army called the Kremlings stolen bananas from Donkey Kong's banana cave, so Diddy Kong joins Donkey Kong on his search for the stolen bananas. They beat up King K. Rool, get the bananas back, and celebrate. In Donkey Kong Country 2, King K. Rool gets salty and kidnaps Donkey Kong, and won't release him until K. Rool gets the Kong's banana hoard, so Diddy and Dixie Kong set out to search and save Donkey Kong. They beat up K. Rool, then celebrate. In Donkey Kong Country 3, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong get taken and become a power source for cows. A puppet leader controlled by King K. Rool, and so Dixie Kong and her little cousin, Kitty Kong, beat K. Rool, save Donkey and Diddy Kong, and then they celebrate. Then fast forward to Donkey Kong 64. King K. Rool is back again and plans to destroy Kong Isle, the home of the Kongs and centerpiece of DK Isles. Donkey Kong now has a crew, along with Diddy Kong, the newly introduced Lanky Kong, Chunky Kong, and Tiny Kong, who is surprisingly Dixie's Kong's younger sister, who join in to stop King K. Rool. This is where Funky Kong comes in. After being involved in the events of Donkey Kong Country 1, 2 and 3, Funky Kong goes full Rambo mode, and temporarily ditches his lifestyle of laid-backness, surfboarding, and go-kart racing, to prepare for the assault King K. Rool and his army are planning. He equips the Kongs with weaponry and fruit-based ammo. During the final battle, all of the Kongs, including Candy and Funky, take down K. Rool one by one. Funky Kong takes the final shot, defeats King K. Rool, and peace is restored. After this game, nothing really special happens plot-wise. King K. Rool returns a couple of times, Tiny Kong drunk, a lot of milk, and Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong have disappeared from the franchise entirely. Fast forward all the way to June 2025, and Nintendo did something questionable. Nintendo revealed their new 3D Donkey Kong game called Donkey Kong Bonanza, and there are new villains. Donkey Kong gets brand new transforming powers, and Pauline is now a kid, and I have officially lost track with this lore, and that's it. Now that you all have context, here's the question: how do we take all of this and turn it into a connected world, a series maybe? Let's see what we can cook up. In the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Mario and Luigi's plumbing business as well as their family are located in Brooklyn, New York, located in the real world, at least, I assume. Instead of the brothers randomly stumbling upon the portal, what if their parents told them about a portal to another dimension after Mario and Luigi noticing suspicious details about their origin, about how they ended up in Brooklyn, a dimension called Dimension M, so they go in this pipe-shaped portal. Maybe they get accidentally trapped in this dimension and can't get back home. Of course, Mario and Luigi meet Peach and the Toads, learn about Bowser and his history and conflict with Peach and the Toads, and perhaps maybe meet Donkey Kong and his crew, and assist them in taking down Bowser's minions. As for Wario and Waluigi, instead of making them brothers of Mario and Luigi, I rather have them be brothers themselves, who make fun of Mario and Luigi for being delusionally positive, or optimistic about their problems. At the same time, they are delusionally negative, and they view Mario and Luigi as horrible people for simply making mistakes and wanting to do better. And they also have their own plumbing business within the same city as Mario and Luigi. It ends up being more profitable, however, due to Wario's poor spending habits and sticking his big fat pink nose into things where it didn't belong, cause the business to suffer. Out of spite, maybe they both follow Mario and Luigi into this so-called Dimension M. Maybe they try to make a new life, try to get rich in this dimension. Maybe they temporarily work for Bowser and try to steal any sort of valuables or power that he has. And what does narcissists hate more than anything else? Other narcissists. So it won't be long until the brothers are fighting each other, or take the WarioWare approach, and if Diamond City coexist in the same world as New Donk City, or Brooklyn, and if Wario try to get rich off of making games, people love to play them, but also hate them, due to small problems like microtransactions and glitches, with the on-running gag of Wario still not learning his lessons. Why? As Wario. As for Yoshi, not entirely sure. Keep the multiple colored Yoshi species a thing. Maybe there is a way to implement the backstory with Baby Mario without contradicting anything prior. And then there's Birdo, who's basically the female counterpart to Yoshi. How do I put this? Make her backstory in Captain Rainbow canon. As for Luigi's Mansion representation, I think a proper setup would be, after King Boo noticing many of Bowser's failures with trying to capture the princess and defeat Mario, King Boo decides to do it himself, through pure trickery, and tries to defeat Luigi, through scamming him and trying to take his soul by inviting him into the haunted Boo Mansion, or something like that. But, if there's one character that definitely needs development, it's Bowser. What if Bowser wanted to marry Peach not because he actually likes her, but to keep the family name alive? Think about it, Peach is nothing more than a tool to him. Peach is something within her that Bowser needs, perhaps a certain magical energy. Whatever the case, Peach is something that other princesses don't. Maybe he kidnaps her for longevity. Bowser is the most powerful king in the Mushroom World, with his face plastered everywhere within the lands, even having control over King Goomba, King Bomb, and King Boo's troops. Bowser wants to pass on the proud Koopa Empire, the proud Bowser name, through Bowser Jr. Don't get him wrong, of course, he loves his 7 little troublemakers, but for a parent, a narcissistic one, nothing is better than having someone who acts exactly like you. Bowser has grown a soft spot for this little version of himself, So he lies to Junior about Peach being his mama, so Junior can kidnap her and follow in his father's footsteps, and for Bowser to force Peach into marriage for her magical energy, all for the sake of endless conquering, control, and dominance. Yes, 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 that is how you write a motivation. Yes, I am awesome, and that's all for today. A simple, easy dish of an idea, based off of a simple, easy franchise, and hey, if my fantastic ideas doesn't get used in any Mario-based plot, that's fine. After all, it's just a silly kid franchise, nothing too deep. Comment below and push this video in the algorithm if you hate my guts, and subscribe if you want to see more beautiful stuff like this. Bye bye.
Yes, we give the audience what it wants.
Smash that like button and subscribe.